to All In Uncensored with Ryan and Bryon.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to All In Uncensored. This is episode 10, our 10th episode.
Can you believe we have 10? This is 10.
10 episodes.
This was just a dream a few months ago.
It was just a seed, a thought that has transformed into now 10 shows. It's pretty crazy.
I love it.
So the title of this episode is actually reflecting back and moving forward. And what we're going to do in this episode is we're going to be touching base with our audience to just kind of reflect on where we've been, how we got to this point, and what we can expect moving into 2024. And some of the shows, what are some of the topics we're going to touch on in this episode?
Well, the topics really are what you said, reflecting back, looking at 2023, where we came from. Then we're going to preview kind of what's coming up for 2024 and what that looks like moving forward.
Yeah, I love it. So this podcast show, folks, really just kind of started it really started as just an idea, and that idea formed at an event that I attended at United Wholesale Mortgage, the live event. So Tony Robbins spoke at that event. I think we mentioned that in episode 1.
Yep.
And I met some really amazing people there, and some of the people I met were talking about podcast shows, and was never even on Ryan and my radar. It was just never even a thought that crossed our mind.
Bryon came back from this event, and he's like, we're doing a podcast.
Yeah, that's literally.
And I basically thought he was crazy.
I thought I was crazy too. I mean, it's crazy like my beard and hair right now. It's like out of control.
Yeah, if you can see it, if you're on video watching, I've got the kind of flock of seagulls thing going with my hair.
Yeah, I just I have a beard straightener at home, by the way.
Oh, good. See, I don't need one. This is about all I can grow.
This is 2 weeks. No, I'm just kidding. No, so this podcast show, again, we just met some good people. So it went from an idea to, well, how are we going to make this thing happen? And so we had a lot of great mentors along the way. Shout out to Justin White at UWM.
He was a huge instrument in getting this going. He was super excited for us. Mm-hmm. Well, we met him a few times at UWM, and when we put the idea across his bow, he was so excited.
Yeah, he was literally all in with us, and I was like, this is great. And with his background in media and broadcasting, which he has a degree in, we had a real great mentor there to help us kind of get some ideas and get an outline of what we had to do to start getting this thing actually working. And then Jose Marino came into play, who was on our last episode.
Yep.
And he was instrumental in really kind of taking some of these ideas and helping us expand on it and how we can really make the show buzz with some good content.
Yeah, making sure that we don't talk about things we're not supposed to in the mortgage world.
Yeah.
He was really, really worried about us talking about things that, because we are so scrutinized, and the DFI is on top of all that stuff, and we have to make sure that we don't talk about certain things.
Yeah, Jose was like the kid guide rails that you put at a bowling alley so you don't throw a gutter ball. So thanks for not letting us throw a gutter ball, Jose. We really appreciate you, buddy.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Then we met Dan Denzio.
Yep, Dan and Mike Denzio.
Oh, Mike.
Yeah.
We met Mike here.
Yeah. So we're in our podcast simplified studio. You guys can't see the sign, and we unfortunately didn't turn it on. But they have a big shout out to Dan and Mike. They created this studio in our shared workspace where we're at. It's called Podcast Simplified, and they also gave us some amazing ideas. Tell us about what Mike talked to us about the first time we actually engaged with him to start a podcast show.
Well, we had a meeting with him, and he came in just blazing.
On fire.
He was more on fire. We thought we were on fire about this thing, and he was more on fire for us. He basically told us about his podcast. He was bored during the pandemic, decided to start a podcast, built this studio, and he does a very specified he basically helps dentists buy and sell practices. So he's very specified in his small little niche, and he's like, you guys are doing mortgages? That's huge. And he was just all over the place.
Oh, he was so on fire. I mean, I was fired up. I mean, I was ready to run through a brick wall after talking to this guy. I was like, I just felt like I did a line of Ripper Magoo or something. I mean, Not that I ever have. I'm just saying it was just crazy how much energy he brought to that first meeting with us, and really kind of inspired us to think about the podcast in a different way than our initial thoughts on it. And then Dan, his brother, who does a lot of the back end tech side of things, really has been helping us out with SEO and creating show outlines and that sort of thing. So it's been really a team effort to get to this point.
If you want to start a podcast, we know a few things.
Yes.
We can help you out. Reach out.
We would love to help.
We would love to help.
Yeah.
We've got a team around us that can definitely help and guide you in the right direction of getting it started and up and running.
Yeah. And so in reflecting back to Ryan and I decided after consulting actually with my business coach, Chad Rothermick, he said that one thing that's really important with something like a podcast show is character development in the beginning. So we were initially ready to all gung-ho to bring on all these guests, but without our audience really knowing who you and I are, how can they really understand what we're trying to bring to the table? So we were very intentional about making the first 4 episodes just Ryan and I opening up about who we are, what we're all about, what we want the show to be all about. And I hope you guys really got something out of those first 4 episodes. And if you haven't watched them yet, go back and check them out. We share a lot of insights on where our mindset's at with getting 1% better every day and another great day. And we've also shared some of the challenges we faced in some tougher markets. And, it's just all about transparency and seeing how we can help others.
We've lived through 2 really tough markets now. I mean,
this one
we're living in one right now.
Yeah.
And we were both in the industry back in 2008 when the market crashed. And, they're so different from each other. And the things that we learned back then definitely helped us get through this one. But the market's not the same. Real estate prices aren't falling, and in my opinion, they're not going to fall. We have way too much demand for the amount of supply that's out there. And, after the crash of 2008, builders just didn't build enough, and we don't have enough houses built in the United States for the amount of people that want to buy. So I think we're going to be in this market of supply and demand issues for, I think, definitely a few years to come.
Yeah. Not to say that there won't be some regional discrepancies with the overall market. So some areas that have been overbuilt, like Dallas, Texas, and Phoenix, Arizona, might experience some, huge inventory. They might have huge inventory there, so you never know. But where we're at, I think we're pretty solid with values staying pretty stable and a lot of opportunity in 2024. And then, so after we kind of got through those first 4 episodes, you and I really wanted to make sure that our future guests brought something to the table pertaining to homeownership and bridging the gap to homeownership, and also to self-improvement and just being better.
And you and I have worked on being better. I mean, if we're reflecting, 2023 was a monumental year for us. Started off with a new company.
Yeah, leaving the retail world for the broker side and the wholesale channel.
It was pretty scary. I mean, we learned the learning curve. There was definitely a learning curve. We know how to do loans, but how to put them in and how to get them closed was a little bit different. And we learned a lot right in the beginning on what we needed to do. We've done so much research on really so many things. We've tried some things that didn't work. I don't know if I'd call those failures or not, but
no,
learning experiences.
Yeah, I mean, there's the nice thing about where we're at is we have so many different options for the technology that we implement into our business, and so a lot of it was trial and error, figuring out which tech stack. Which is, I love this buzz phrase, by the way.
Tech stack is great.
Yeah, we have an amazing tech stack. But figuring that out as we went, that was huge, and with input from other people, and drawing on the relationships we've built in Pontiac, Michigan, meeting people in other parts of the United States who are a couple of steps ahead of where we're at, and the collaboration that we've experienced. I mean, that's what's really kind of been transformative in my mind with this leap that we took, is the amount of collaboration and willingness of people that want to help us get better along the way. It's absolutely amazing. Not to say that where we were didn't have collaboration and success, but this is just at a different level, in my opinion.
It is a different level. We have, now we have 50 or 60 different companies, and they all have their own account reps that we can call with different scenarios. and we have so many more options now of different types of loans.
Yeah.
It just opened up a world of things that I didn't even know existed.
Yeah. So that's, and that's really how we're trying to tie all this into our podcast and the content we create for you guys. We're so inspired by what we're doing. We feel that we can bring something to the table and plug into the other energy out there with these other people. So that's kind of leads us to the preview of what's coming up in 2024. Like, I'm really excited about the next episode we're doing.
I'm really excited about the next episode. I mean, what are we talking? We're going to talk budget.
Budget, goal setting, and accountability.
3 things that we've worked on all of 2023 leading into 2024.
Yes.
Bryan talked about tech stack, and that's a lot of other things that we worked on. We're trying to position ourselves now to be a little bit different for our referral partners. We're growing a business not just to be transactional. We're growing a business to have a business. And we're trying to, we have a tech stack now to help out all sorts of different referral partners.
Yeah, not just real estate agents. Real estate agents, obviously there's a symbiotic relationship between lenders and realtors. We really help each other drive business. And then, we've got, externally from that, we have title and escrow and insurance people that all help as part of the transaction too. But beyond that,
we're moving into financial planners and CPAs and insurance people and
attorneys,
estate planning.
Yeah.
And tying those all in, making a better transaction for the client because we're tying that all in. Buying a house is great, but if you don't have a plan beyond just buying the house, and that's where Bridging the Gap is coming from. We're going to have all these people on to show you why you need these things, like a will attorney. If you buy a house, you should have a will.
Yep. Or if you have aging parents or grandparents and they don't have a plan, it's really good to have an elder care law attorney who, by the way, we'll have a guest on here in the coming few episodes, my buddy Aaron Paker.
Yeah.
He's got some great content. He actually wrote a book on elder care law, by the way. He's published.
That's great.
Published author.
Can't wait to talk to him.
Yeah. And, the other thing too, I'm really looking forward to getting some other people too, outside of just like homeownership stuff like contractors, but people that maybe are in a different career path, like we talked about Walter Jones with the Seahawks, like from the perspective of a professional athlete, like mindset. That's going to be huge going into 2024. And
we want to pick his brain on, what he went through growing up.
Yeah.
High school, middle school, college, and how he had to prepare himself and really be different from the rest of the kids and the rest of everybody else in society. Like, he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah.
You don't do that by sitting on your butt.
How do you overcome self-doubt? How do you choose to move forward when you're ready to quit? I think at some point in time we've all faced that, but these are some of the things we want to really go into a deeper dive on this year. Because our whole goal, honestly, is to create valuable content for you, our audience, so that we can help you get better. And we want to blow up social media in 2024. We want to help as many people as possible.
And I think the podcast is going to help us do that. The podcast is, I love you people listening. We really appreciate you. Follow us on Instagram, follow us on Facebook, YouTube, not just our podcast show, but individually. We have some plans, using the podcast to help those grow, taking snippets out, but also doing some stuff that's going to be fun.
Yeah, in the community. We've got some big visions for like a mobile podcast show, which will be fun, some live events. So we've got a lot of great stuff coming up there. And one of the commitments that Ryan and I have decided we want to make to you, our audience and our listening base, and actually the people that are guests on our show too, is we're going to dedicate ourselves to getting better every single episode. And we've already taken a lot of feedback and input from people. I've had my 11-year-old nephew give me some advice. As you can see, I'm sitting closer to the mic today because Max pointed it out. And we've got some really great feedback from some of our former guests on the intro and creating a hook and some of this other stuff that's going to really create better content overall for the viewing and listening audiences. And And I'm just excited that people are willing to share and give us constructive criticism so that we can get better. I mean, I appreciate that.
Yeah. I mean, we talking into the mic is one. The intro's absolutely another thing. Thinking back, we're in show 10 and we're not very far along. We're not planning on stopping this ever. We made a plan where this is a kind of forever thing. We're not looking at the numbers of how many viewers we have. We're not looking at the analytics. We're just doing this to share some knowledge and help you grow while we're growing ourselves. And we're excited.
Yeah. I mean, we've had people reach out to us, just people we haven't heard from in 30 years, and some people that we didn't even know were listening to our show. And, we've already had one person talk to us about a budget. We've had another person talk to us about being able to finance some lot developments and stuff like that. And these were people that have been plugging into our show and listening to us that reached out to us. And we encourage you to reach out to us, you out there who might have questions about anything. And if we can help, we will. And if we can't help, we know somebody who can.
That's absolutely what our show is about. Bridging the gap to home ownership and beyond. That's what we want to do.
Yep. And we're doing it.
And we are doing it.
Yeah.
We just want to help. We want to be the go-to for all of your needs. If you need a plumber, we have plumbers. If you need a roofer, we have roofers.
Yep.
And we're going to bring those people in to help educate you on making the right decision if you ever need that person, how to interview them, what to watch out for, those types of things, just to help you out.
Yeah. And then on our mortgage website, once we have, and that's the other exciting news, our branch is almost ready to go and dialed in. And then
how excited are you for that?
Oh, I'm so stoked. We're going to be creating a lot of mortgage related content. So we'll drop the link in our future episodes on our mortgage website once we get that up and running and compliant. And we'll have an amazing amount of content that's loan related. And like we talked about at the very beginning, less than 10% of about what we talk about here is going to be
loan related.
Yep. We're going to make sure our audience that we do loans, so that if you need a loan, you need to come to us. But beyond that, if you really want to get geeked out on different loan programs and the loan process, we'll have videos for you on that on our mortgage website.
Yes, we will.
Yeah.
Investor loans, first-time home buyers,
VA.
FHA, VA, refinances, cash-out refinances. One of the things right now, the nation has the most consumer debt it's ever had, over $1 trillion.
Yep.
There's a lot of people out there with interest rates that are super low, and they don't want to touch those. Come to us and see what we can do to help you relieve that pressure. Exactly. A lot of people are in so much monthly pressure of those bills. There's some things that we can do, not necessarily touching your 2 or 3% rate, but sometimes it makes sense.
Yeah, and that's just it. Transparency, show you what the options are. We help you make an educated decision, and if you decide not to make a decision with us, that's fine too. As long as we help educate and put you in a better spot, that's really what our business is, one of our foundational principles of what our business is about.
Being in the industry for so long, one thing that I've always kind of known, but it's really in the forefront now, no two people are alike. No two loans are alike. No two situations are alike. So when you come and talk to us, we've seen many, many different situations, and we can help you out with that. Don't go talk to your Uncle Bob and have him give you this financial advice that he probably got from his grandpa that came from the Great Depression of, you can't touch that stuff. Everything's so different. We're in such a different age. That was 100 years ago.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And, I think we're just going to we're so passionate about this loan business. I mean, the reason why we're just kind of babbling on about this right now, we're so passionate. It's not necessarily just about doing a loan application and closing a loan. I think the passion is helping people out financially and putting you guys in a better spot. I mean,
that's right.
That's where I see your passion. I know that's where my passion is. And so
that's why we babble.
Yeah, that's why we babble. We're babbling right now.
We are kind of babbling.
Yeah. So
we'll wrap it up.
Yeah. So our final thoughts are, we just started with the seed of an idea, It's blossomed into the show, and we want to just blow this show up and just provide value-added content for people out there, not only for our business partners, but for our viewers and our audience members, listening audience members. And we're going to go out and just absolutely crush it in 2024. And we're going to help everybody that partners with us crush it as well.
That is our goal.
Yep.
We love constructive feedback. Help us be better for you.
Yeah, reach out to us and let us know what you feel we could do differently or better, and we'll take that under advisement. And we're always in the process of refining and getting better and trying to do the best we can for you.
Absolutely.
Yep. So again, check us out. Subscribe to our show. The link to our website address is in the comments below. You can go on to iTunes. You can go on to YouTube. You can go on to Spotify, iHeartRadio. There's just a number of platforms you can find us.
Best way to find us, though, is go to our website, allinuncensored.com.
Yep.
And all of our links are there. That's the easiest way to find us.
That's the easiest way, and that's the link that's in the comments below. And we'll see you on episode 11. And
it's another great day.
It's another great day.
Bye, everybody.